What it do, what it do, what it do. I'm gonna give y'all a few seconds to tap in, bro. This is a story time. This is a story time, bro. A story time. And what I'm gonna do, what I often do on my channel, is I try to have a topic and then give insight on that topic based on my own personal life. That's what I try to do. So I'll give it a few seconds before I begin. On this Thursday in November in Southern Cal. Tap in with me. Live is what I have to do. I have to do this live because, this YouTube, they be messing with the brothers. Oh, there go a blimp. That's a nice blimp up there, you guys. I don't know if you can see it in the foreground. Go a blimp. I haven't seen one of those in a minute. It's a blimp up there. I can't see the advertisement, but you can see it. It's an orange blimp. But man, let me go ahead and tap. Let me start, man. So the title of the video is that your attitude will determine your trajectory in life. And as I was doing some shopping, I'm doing Instacart shopping right now to make ends meet, man. Got to do what we got to do. But as I was shopping, man, and I'm standing in line, the lady that checked me out, she says, "How's it going? How you doing?" And it's like when she said that, she sat there and she waited for a response. Now, when someone asks me how I'm doing, being the type of person that I am, I've always been the type of person who basically, when someone says, "How you doing?" If my situation is not good, if my situation is not the way that I want it to be at the present time, I've never been the type of person to say, "Oh, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good," just to say I'm good, just so people will feel comfortable or they won't feel awkward if if someone asks me, "How you doing?" and I say, "Man, I'm doing bad." Now what I say, I just be quiet. I just nod and do that, right? But she was sitting there waiting for a response. She was like looking at me and waiting for me to say, "Oh, I'm good, I'm good." Because everybody else in the line was saying that. And this lady, she obviously has been working there for a while. And it seems like she knows everybody, right? So everybody's greeting her. Most of the people around here are Spanish speakers because LA County is like over 70% Hispanic. So, she appears to be a Black American woman. And she's greeting everybody. But when it gets to me, I just say like this, and I just keep it cool, right? So why did I do that? Because I'm not the type of person that just says, "Oh, I'm doing good," when I'm not. But I try not to cause people to feel awkward or feel weird, so I just be cordial. Another thing I learned from watching one of my teachers that, he's passed on, he's transitioned, is when someone asked him how he was doing, he would say, "I'm still learning." And oftentimes I would say that and people would just say, "Oh, okay." Or sometimes they'll say, "Oh, I'm learning. I'm still learning too." Or sometimes people will say, "Oh, what you learning?" Whatever that case is, right? But get into the video, because I wanna I want to get into what I'm talking about. Your attitude determines your trajectory, right? So my attitude throughout life has been a pro and a con in my life. My attitude throughout my life has at times allowed me to benefit. And hold on, y'all, hold on, I'm hopping in the car, but I'm still trying to be with y'all, man, because I'm moving. As I'm moving, yeah, I understand that you have a different feelings, and you could do what you want. No one could tell you what to do. It's your body, not theirs. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Jesse Bay. So my attitude throughout my life has benefited me at times and has been to my detriment. What do I mean by that? I like to relate this to a real life situation that happened in this land called United States of America, right? A long time ago, before before any of us were born, before any of us were even thought about, there was this system called chattel slavery about 400 or 500 years ago. So everybody that's watching this live, including myself, we weren't even born. We weren't here, or maybe we were in a different incarnation. Who knows if you believe in incarnation, but a reincarnation and all that stuff, right? So during that time, you had an enslaved people, Black Americans, who were enslaved on what they call in the South plantations. And they were forced to work for free. I don't want to give y'all a history lesson. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have heard of, slavery and what happened during those times. But these individuals were forced to work on what was called a plantation for free against their will. And if they didn't comply, they were either beat with whips, they were hung from trees, or they were just murdered. So you had most of the individuals who didn't want any problems. They just pretty much accepted their fate, accepted that this is what it is, this is what things had to be like, and they pretty much went along to get along. We call that going along to get along, right? And so they would see their owner or their master, that's what they called him at the time, their slave master, and they would see that he has the best of everything. He has a big house. He has people waiting on him hand and foot. He has riches. He has the best. He has access to beautiful, young, Black enslaved women. And he just has his way, right? One would say he's having a heaven on earth, right? So this master would have a heaven on earth. And meanwhile, the people that he was in control of, they would have what you would call a literal hell on earth. And how would the master keep these group of people who outnumbered him, and even who outnumber his, what you call them? I guess you would call them, it's like his managers or people that supervised or the slave catchers, right? They were under him, but the slaves outnumbered these individuals. They were outnumbered about 10-1. But what kept them in this position of power is that the master would use a book called the Bible to say, hey, slavery is something that God sanctioned. And if you be a good slave, when you die, you can have your heaven, but only when you die. You can't have your heaven right now, but when you die, you can have your heaven, right? And so all the slaves, they would say, okay, yeah, all right, well, we'll just wait till we die and we can have what master having. But it was always that one slave, that one enslaved individual would say, hold on, that don't make no sense to me. Why do I have to die to experience heaven? Meanwhile, this white man because most of the slave owners were mostly white. He gets to have his heaven right now. He gets to have us working for free. He gets to have access to our women, our wives at times, and sometimes even our daughters when he wanted. He gets to have all the wealth, all this abundance, and meanwhile, we got to be enslaved. It don't seem right. It seems to me that one slave would say that the master is playing a trick on us. He's running game on us. He's hitting us with the okie doke. But what would happen with this one individual? The other slaves would say to him, "Oh man, what's wrong with you? Why are you causing problems? Why are you want to shake things up? How come you just can't go along to get along? Why don't you just accept things the way they are and don't cause no problems? We don't need no more problems for massa." But even though they were already having problems, even though they were being good slaves, they was like, "We don't want no more problems." But this one slave was like, "Nah, I don't agree with that. I think we should have our heaven on earth just like the master is having his heaven on earth. And I don't think we should have to wait till we die, because guess what? Nobody has come back from physical death, I mean, being dead over 24 hours, to confirm that this place exists when we die. So I'm not buying that. I think we should have our heaven on earth, and I think we should escape right now. We should rise up against Massa, because we have more numbers than Massa, and we should take him out and basically go around the other plantations and free everybody else, right? But all the other slaves were like, "No, we don't want no problems." And so what will often happen is that one slave that would have this idea will often be viewed as the troublemaker, will often be viewed as the rebellious one, will often be viewed as just a the bad guy, right? The black sheep. Even though what he's saying is right, even though what he's saying makes sense, even though what he's saying it adds up, but he would be looked at as the bad one, the wrong one, the weird one. Well, I relate that and I bring it to modern times, and people who challenge the status quo, who challenge the system, just like back then, they always get labeled as the bad sheep, the crazy one, the bad guy. And that has been my experience throughout my life, is that I've always been that one to challenge what is not right, what I don't seem to be, this seems to be right, to be a wage slave, because that's the modern slavery. Being a wage slave is the modern system of slavery. And when I challenge that ideology amongst my coworkers, they look at me like, "Oh, what's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with this guy?" No, it's nothing wrong with me. It's that I'm just not going along with the status quo. I'm challenging the status quo because I don't think the status quo is right. And because you are that one out of the majority who don't, that challenge that status quo, they look at you like something is wrong with you. Like you are weird, like you are crazy, like you are rebellious. And that's the attitude. That's your attitude. Your attitude will always determine your trajectory in life. And if whatever attitude you choose to adapt, whatever attitude, because you may think, "Oh, I'm going to take the safe route. I'm going to play by the rules. I'm going to have this type of attitude because this is a safe route." Even when you take the safe route, you are still sacrificing something. There are pros and cons to whatever route and whatever attitude that you choose to have, even when you believe that you're taking the safe route. Because maybe you take the safe route and 20, 30 years down the line, you look back at your life and you have all these damn regrets. And now you can't go back and change it because there's no going back. There's no time machine. And now you'll look back and like, damn, I wish I did this. I wish I did this. Now look where I'm at now. So it doesn't always pay to take the safe route. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't always pay to take the safe route. Sometimes you just got to step out there and willing to be that black sheep, willing to be that one that takes the risk, you know, and understand that it's going to come with risks, it's going to come with consequences, but that's just life. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I appreciate everybody tapping in. Shout out to everybody that's tapped in. I got to go ahead and deliver this Instacart delivery. The customer's waiting for their food, but make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and I will holler at y'all later. Peace.